Okay, Ray. So what we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna be working on warming up your scapula and then getting them nice and set up so that then you can do the absolute perfect push-up. So for that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by warming up our scapula. So I want you to reach forward like you're grabbing a nice big steering wheel. Take a deep breath in, squeeze your core nice and tight. Make sure that the only thing that's gonna move is your shoulder blades. Now I want you to try and punch forward as deeply as you can. Now we're gonna move nice and slowly. So elevate those shoulders up, retract back, depress them down. Beautiful. And notice any places where you feel weak. If you feel particularly weak in a place, I want you to give yourself a nice 3-second squeeze there. So try and drop. Beautiful. That's it. And now punch forward once again. Excellent. So I'm going to have you do that 4 times in each direction. So go ahead and punch forward towards me. Beautiful. Elevate up slowly. Now keep them high, retract back, and then slowly depress them down. Beautiful. That's 2. Come to punch forward again. That's it. 2 more just like that. And notice the evenness between the sides. If you do this in a mirror, notice if one side's coming up, one side's going down. There you go. Feel into your body. Feel into, there you go. Even feel into how the weight is distributed in your feet too. There you go. Make sure it's nice and solid between both feet. There we go. Beautiful. That's it. And now go ahead and punch forward towards me one more time. Deep breath in. And now we're going to reverse it. So go ahead and depress the shoulders down. Push the shoulder blades away. Notice a little imbalance there. There we go. Beautiful. And feel that in your core, how that echoes. Good. And now start from this position. Retract them back. Beautiful. There we go. Elevate up. And then punch forward. That's it. 3 more times just like that, Ray. That's beautiful. There we go. There it is. Yep, move those scapula, those shoulder blades. There we go. That's it. Beautiful. Yes, good, Ray, good. There we go. And now one more time just like that. We're gonna depress down, retract back. There it is. Elevate up, and then finally punch forward. Beautiful, Ray. So now we've warmed up the linear movements of the scapula. Now what I want to do is I want to warm up the rotational component of it. So ostensibly the best way that I found to do this and to really dial it in is you're going to start with your arms forward like this. Then what I want you to do is you're going to start trying to rotate your scapula. So you're going to start driving them forward like you're trying to make a nice big arch. There you go. Do you feel that? And now what we're going to do is we're going to rotate them back, but we're going to activate at the scapula. So I want you to start trying to press the scapula down like that. Beautiful. And that will naturally lift the arms up. And you'll feel that in that serratus right there. Good. And now we're going to work with that. So I want you to try and squeeze those scapula like they're coming down under, like your armpit is going to go whoom, like that. There we go. More on this side, more on that side. There we go. Or actually more on this side, more on this side. There we go. That's it. Yes. Beautiful. Good, good, good. And now we're going to bring them back forward, creating that nice, big, rounded forward. There we go. Now squeeze there. Beautiful. And now we're going to go back one more time. So, but I want you to activate at the scapula. So really drive down like that, open up the chest, and then everything else follows. Beautiful, Ray. That's it. That's it. Good. And now give me a nice solid squeeze there, like you're really trying to rotate that. Boom. Good. And now come back forward. That's it. We're going to go 2 more times just like that. So feel that drive open. Keep that spine nice and tall. Just rotate through those scapula. There we go. That's it. You feel that and how these scapula are just rotating. There we go. Exactly. Boom, 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 boom. And you'll notice it feels really good, really strong through here. And then suddenly when you go back, you're like, that means that we want to really work on that backwards motion and really dial it in. Beautiful. Okay. So now what we're gonna do for our next movement is we're gonna really dial into that serratus anterior and really get that set up, prepared, primed, and ready before we ever get into our push-up. So for that, what I'm gonna have you do is we're gonna be over here on the bench. You can go ahead and kneel down, and I'll go ahead and demonstrate really quickly. So for that, this is gonna be the one that we were working on the other day. Hands are gonna be on the bench. I want you to imagine that you're trying to break the bench by creating external rotation of the arms. You're gonna feel it lock in, especially right here, right under that armpit, like right in through here. You're gonna feel that serratus. And this is where I want you to try and scoop those scapula, break the bar, scoop the scapula, and then you're gonna hold this position the entire time. So you're gonna take that deep breath in, squeeze, lock in, and then slowly start sending your hips back, keeping your spine as straight as possible. The very moment that you feel that it unlocks or that you lose right up under here, that's where I want you to stop, come out half a step, re-engage as hard as you can, sink deeper into it, and then this is where you're gonna hold for 5 seconds, and then in order to come out, you're gonna drive the hands into the bench like you're trying to squeeze through there and send those hips back forward. Go ahead. Beautiful here, Ray. And so this is how you warm up for those push-ups. We're gonna prime all of that tissue, prime especially our unstable points, and then we're gonna go from there. So deep breath in. Start trying to break the bench, activating all the way through there. Try and scoop those scapula like they're gonna come down. This lower edge is gonna come forward all the way. Beautiful. And now from here, keep that core nice and tight, and now start just sending the hips straight back. Beautiful, keeping all this active. More active, more active. There we go. More external rotation, more trying to break the bench. Beautiful, come into it as deeply as you can. Right when it let goes. Good, okay, now re-engage it as hard as you can. Deep breath in, re-engage. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now drive the hands into the bench. Drive that to come up. Beautiful, Ray, beautiful. We're gonna do that 4 more times. Excellent. There you go, nice, beautiful. And now slow, slow, slow down. There we go. Especially that serratus, that's gonna be the key there. Beautiful, find the very edge, find where it wants to let go. The moment it lets go, then that's when you're gonna come out half a step, re-engage it, and now squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, and now drive the hands into the bench, activate that serratus to come up. Beautiful, Ray, beautiful. That's it, my man, that's it. Amazing, amazing work there. All right, so deep breath in. Start trying to break that bench. Beautiful, and now slow, slow. Yep, core nice and tight, hips straight back. Keep that serratus active. There you go. More, more, more. That's right there where it wants to let go. Now deep breath in. Re-engage it as hard as you can. Squeeze there. 5, 4, 3, 2. And now drive the hands into the bench. Drive it like you're trying to break it. Come up. Beautiful, Ray. Beautiful. So we're going to go 2 more like that. Beautiful. All right. Deep breath in. Start trying to break the bench. There you go. Nice. That's it. Keep all of this, especially right there. It's gonna feel like it's gonna pull from your ribs. There we go, beautiful. That's it, that's it. Now re-engage as hard as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and now come on up nice and strong, nice and slow. Beautiful, Ray, beautiful. All right, you got 1 more just like that, and we're gonna make this last one a 10-second burner for you. Yeah, Ray, let's do it. All right, deep breath in. Go ahead and start trying to break the bench. That's it, external rotation. There we go. Lock those scapula down. There it is, beautiful. Straighten out the arms. Lock the elbows, lock the elbows. There we go, and now try and break through there. Come on, right through, all in there. There we go, beautiful. And now try and break the bench. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, drive the hands into the bench in order to come up. There we go, beautiful. And now go ahead and rest. Do you feel this all in here? Like you should feel like your chest is like, ooh, like ready to go. Beautiful. Good, 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 Ray. Okay. So this is the exact feeling that whether you're doing a pull up or a push up, I want that feeling of this right here engaged, locked in place. Because the one thing that we don't want to do is we don't want our shoulders to roll forward like that, collapse, give us this bad posture. We want that serratus to boom. Because the thing about it is, remember this, for most of our evolutionary history, we were quadrupedal creatures, meaning that we were meant to crawl around like and so our arms weren't actually meant to be down at our sides, they were meant to be up here. And so this muscle had a much more pronounced feature because it's exactly. And it's because we were constantly putting our weight into our hands. Exactly. And so we really want, especially in our modern day life, we've just allowed ourselves to collapse forward and come over because we're like, well, our spine, and basically shifting that load onto our spine, whereas what most people need isn't more extension back here. They don't need to pull their shoulders down and back. They need to rotate those scapula so that they're nice and upright and like, exactly. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's get into how to do a perfect push-up for you. Beautiful. So the key to this is you're going to push to failure, but only with very strict form. So if you need to, you can always lighten the weight. You can come down to your knees. You can do something else like that. But the moment that you break form, stop. Because that's the key is it's not necessarily about doing it. It's about doing it right? Because it's the same thing if I'm pushing like this and like the moment that I break my form and I'm like, okay, I got the rep, but I didn't actually get the effect that I want. I broke my form. And so always put form over result, right? The process is more important than the result. Beautiful. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is you can either start out on your knees or you can come to that full push-up position. What we're gonna do here is I want you to start spinning the hands outward, creating that external rotation. That's going to engage all the way down through that serratus, right? So you're gonna keep trying to spin the hands outward, activate, engage that serratus so you're nice and solid. Then you're gonna go very, very slowly, coming down. Don't let the shoulders collapse forward like that. Keep that serratus active. Slowly, slowly, slowly come down. Hold at the bottom, and then you're gonna drive up. But when you come to that drive up, I want you to imagine that you're driving through that serratus, like you're trying to scoop the palms into the floor, almost like you're trying to push them forward. Exactly. So let's go ahead and do that. Beautiful, Ray. So very first thing, create that external rotation in those arms. Feel this engage right here. That's serratus. There you go, beautiful. And now I want you to keep this feeling, keep that engagement all the way as you start lowering to the floor nice and slowly. Beautiful. Now then, deep breath in. I want you to hold in the basement right here. I want you to find that serratus, activate it. And now activate from that serratus, start driving the palms into the floor, keep trying to spin them out. Beautiful. You feel the difference in that.
Oh, harder.
Yeah, exactly. It's much harder because these are the patterns that have been untrained, that have been being neglected, that are like, okay, this is actually how we want to move through that pattern. So let's go ahead and do that one more time just to dial it in, and I'm going to make it a super slow push-up, right? So we're not trying to go for volume here. We're going for, I'll say, quality and then time under tension. Beautiful. Okay, let's do it. Deep breath in. Start trying to spin those hands outward. Give me that activation right in through here, like you're trying to pull that scapula down, opening up that chest. Beautiful. That's it right there. Now then, slow lower down. Keep mindful activation of that serratus the entire time. Beautiful, right there. Now hold there. 3, 2. Now activate that serratus like you're trying to drive into the floor. Beautiful. You feel that difference difference of the drive right there.
It's like when we go up from there.
Exactly. Exactly. We're creating that link in that chain, but instead of doing it with a straight arm now, we're learning how to activate it, boom, with that bent arm, and then drive through. Exactly. Because remember this, your pectoral muscle only hooks on to your humerus, right? So it affects protraction of your scapula and your shoulder blade through its connection with your humerus. So the key to that is, if you want to activate your pec and actually get the most out of it and get the most drive out of it, then your scapula has to be stable in order for that to happen. If your scapula is unstable, then your pec is just going to rip the whole complex over, and then, okay, like great, but then it's completely ineffective. It's like, well, I'm trying to pull from here and I can't do this. Whereas you activate right here, boom, that scapula is down. Suddenly that pec can drive and do what it's meant to do.
Much tighter.
Exactly, much more activated. Exactly, because with this, it's working from a disadvantageous, already pre-shortened position, right? Because the scapula's collapsed. You pull that scapula back, suddenly that pec has room to contract, room to drive. Exactly. Okay, we're gonna wrap up this video. We're gonna do one more just like that, because I just wanna dial it in, get it really nice and deep for you. Beautiful, Ray, beautiful. All right, deep breath in. Activate that external rotation. Beautiful. And now you're gonna come down slowly, but keep this active. Keep active through that serratus all the way down. Hold at the basement. 3, 2, and now deep breath in. Now I want you to activate at that serratus. Drive through there. Keep the tummy tight, keep the tummy tight. Beautiful, that's it, you feel that. And especially on that weak side, you feel that activation. Perfect, perfect, Ray. Okay, so that is how to warm up your scapula and your shoulders, prime that serratus for activation. And then when it comes to doing your push-ups, just if you can, I would say go for failure, but make your sets under a minute, right? So that means that even if you do 3 push-ups in a minute, right? Just make them very slow and make them, again, perfect form, right? So it's that slow, slow, slow down, driving up, right? Because I would say this, so volume is your last care on the list. Volume will come with time. Number 1 is form. Number 2 is going to be strength, and you develop that strength primarily through just time under tension, right? Well, it's intensity and time under tension, but when you're working with a static weight where it's just your body weight, form, strength, volume, right? So what you can do is set a timer for 1 minute and then just say, okay, how many push-ups can I do in that minute? But you're not going for volume. It's how many perfect push-ups can you do in that minute? And then the key to that is, okay, the little bit of like the faster you go, the less time under tension a lot of times you have, right? Because you're locked out and then you're down and then you're locked out. And at each of those points, you're not under tension, right? Whereas the slower you go, you eliminate those points where you're not under tension, and it actually drives much greater neurological control and facilitation. And like you are spending much more time in each and every single part of the push-up. And that's what drives that strength, drives that durability, dials in that functional movement pattern, and then you can start cranking it out. But first we need to dial in that form, dial it in slowly. It's like the same thing with anything, right? Like learn to do it slow and you can and then you can do it fast. So that's the key here. Beautiful, Ray. Okay. All right. I'm going to shut off that video for now, and that'll be number 1. Beautiful. Oh.